beautiful people. I'm Millie.
I'm Mina.
And welcome to Milly and Mina's Glam Chat. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 tips for women entrepreneurs. My number one, and we're just going to get to it right away. Number one tip for women entrepreneurs, I believe, is develop a discipline. I'm going to keep this really short, and that is something that's outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. With me, it was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like I had to start doing that. The early bird gets the worm. To me, when my alarm goes off, sometimes I used to wallow. I used to, sit there. I used to try to turn and put on another snooze. No, your mind has to be wired just to jump and be prepared mentally every day. That's like an everyday thing. So to me, it's like a mind over matter sort of thing. You have to develop a discipline, because if you do not develop a discipline within yourself, how are you going to be disciplined in owning your own business? Number two is don't be afraid to fail. I mean, I know people say, well, no, I don't like that. This is, my opinion. The reason why I say you can't be afraid to fail, because you can't be afraid to actually get back up and keep it moving, So my whole thing is that, when you're at your worst, this is where you kind of see where faith steps in. You have to really have faith. You have to know without a doubt. And like the guy who invented the light bulb, and then you have the guy who invented the vacuum cleaner. He made like 5,700 plus odd prototypes. He never failed. Like, he kept moving. Like, a lot of people, I can go and tell you all kind of people out there who are very influential that I follow, who have gotten up and they didn't let some outside influence, dictate, what they're trying to do. I failed in an online business twice. I've had many avenues that I've, trying to get on the ground and run when it comes to owning my own business. But I didn't let that stop me. I just didn't let it stop me. You have to find and dig somewhere deep, and don't let any outside influences get. And speaking of outside influences, my number 3 is manifest. Visualize what you want. So manifest it, see it, eat it, taste it, know it, and that's it. That's where it comes back to me when number 1 is develop a discipline. So you have to see yourself and you have to envision your goal. Vision the finish line. Simple as that. Number 4, keep your circle smart. You guys are going to say close because you see my hands doing like this, right? Keep your circle smart and wiser. My whole thing is I'm always learning. I don't want to be the one who thinks I know everything, because I don't know everything. I want to be around people who influence me, who know more than I do, so that I can learn. Being an entrepreneur is a constant learning experience. Get a mentor, get somebody who you can look up to, somebody who you can kind of vent to about what you're trying to do, and who's not going to judge you, who's really going to really be supportive. Okay, so keep your circle. If you want to be somewhere up here, then your circle should be up here too. And that saying, the 5 people that you have around you, that's generally who you are. That is who you are. You have to look at the people you hang around. You're might have to lose some friends, some family members. Everybody's not going to understand what you're doing. Trying to explain your dream or your vision or becoming an entrepreneur to someone who, works, who can't see past working a 9 to 5, it's like comparing apples to oranges. They're just not going to understand, They don't understand that you can lose everything. You're scraping, literally scraping, trying to continue to have this goal that you're going to have, this dream that you're going to have. And they're telling you something else because that's all they know is that 9 to 5. They can't see past that. So that's one thing. Keep your circle wise, smarter. Okay. And my number 5 tip for women entrepreneurs is very simple, is never give up. Jay-Z had an interview. I believe Warren Buffett was in the interview. And he said that was the formula. That was the key. It was no big epiphany. No, they never gave up. That was the key. When he did Tidal, when he did this deal, he never gave up. And actually, Dr. Dre said the same thing. He never gave up. So I look at them you know, and I'm like, wow, you know, they're from, you know, he's from New York, Dr. Dre's from here, and you know, they're billionaires now, so they never gave up, you know. So I really admire that. We're wired to preserve comfort. We're wired to be comfortable. Because it's like a defense mechanism. We don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to, anything that's uncomfortable, we don't want to deal with. But you really have to step outside your comfort zone, and you have to develop that discipline. Those are my 5 tips, and I'm going to turn it over to my sister.
Okay, so my 5 tips are: 1, have tunnel vision towards your vision. There will be a lot of people who will try to discourage you, but I hear some people say, well, I don't know what my vision is. Whatever is on your mind most of the time, what gives you pleasure when you think of yourself doing it, that is your calling. And have tunnel vision towards that, because nobody can see your vision but you and God. So you can't expect other people to understand why you're doing what you're doing to get to the finish line. And always, like Jamel was saying, visualize the finish line. Visualize yourself in that moment of, okay, this is where I want my life to be. Once I get to this point, I will be happy. Once I, you know, attain this, or I can support my family. Visualize that every day. And my second tip is work. Work. Do something every day. A lot of times, and I'm guilty of this too, we want to do something grandiose and big to get to the finish line, to get to where we want to be in life. But you don't have to do something major every day. Take little small steps. Oh, let me call this
micro
person.
Goals.
Let me send this email. Let me do, micro goals. That's number 2. Number 3 is what I was just speaking on. Take baby steps. You know, write down stuff. If you don't know what you want to do, as soon as you think of something, if you have a thought and you're like, oh my God, that's great. Even if you're driving, you know, on the freeway, pull over and write it down.
Write it down.
Text it to yourself immediately. And I'm guilty of that too. I used to be like, oh, well, I'll remember. And then I'll think yesterday and I will totally forget.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh my God, I should have wrote that down. Why didn't I write it down?
Right.
So write stuff down.
Yeah.
And think positive. Number 4, think positive. Speak things into existence. Instead of saying, well, I'll be glad when I can just, or, you know, if I could only, start saying I will. Well, when
words, they have power.
And like I said, you're going to have people who are just going to think that you're crazy and think that you're dreaming. So what? You know, replace I wish with I will. Replace with I wish I could, or with when I achieve this goal. You know, this is what I'm going to do, or when I, you know. So that's number 4. And number 5 is, I'm going to piggyback on my sister, is do not give up. Never give up. A lot of people give up at the wrong time. I overheard a scenario where a guy was talking about planting a seed. And that's what you're doing when you're starting your entrepreneurial journey. You're planting a seed. And when you plant a seed, the seed is there. It's going to grow. If you're doing small things every day, that seed, that little stem is pushing its way through the dirt. But what a lot of people do is, once that stem gets right to the edge of the dirt and it's about to push through, they give up. And then that little...
It withers away.
It withers away because your ambition is gone. Your drive is gone. So what you need to do to keep that drive is listen to motivational speeches. Go to seminars that are relevant to what you're trying to do. Yeah. Those will really, really keep you on track. And if you can't go to a seminar, like I said, go on YouTube and look at
motivational videos.
Yeah. Do it
Get
every
a playlist
day.
Together.
Every day. It's like a coach, you know. If you hear positive words every day, they'll start to resonate in you. Yeah. And then your thoughts that aren't good, your negative thoughts will start to fizzle away. You'll start to have control over your mind. A lot of people think that you can't control your thoughts, but you can. Have a morning ritual. I know that everyone is different. Everyone has different beliefs, but I pray in the morning. I have something I listen to called Our Daily Bread, and that gets my mind focused and ready to prepare for a positive day. You know, it really starts me off well when I wake up. I'm thankful. You know, having gratitude means a lot in success, and a lot of people will not tell you that. If you are grateful for the situation that you're in, you may not be satisfied, but you're happy. You know, you have to value what you have before you can have more. Because if you don't appreciate where you're at, it's very hard to press forward when you're depressed all the time. You know, when you're thinking about your situation, when you're like, oh God, I wish I wasn't here. How are you gonna how are you gonna allow yourself to get to the next level when you're always wallowing? You know, it's almost impossible. So, you know, no matter what your situation is, if you don't have a car or something like that, and when you walk into the store and look at the sky and the trees and say, oh wow, look at God's creations, I'm so happy to just be alive. You know, have gratitude. That means a lot.
And it's part of your spirituality too, whatever you believe in. You know, it's part of your you should always have that part. Spirituality plays a part in success as well. You have to have some type of, you know, spirituality. You know, you have to have some, like she said, gratitude. You know, it doesn't matter. Meditate, do something to keep you in that loop as far as some discipline, moving to the next level. So, you know, those are our top 10 tips, ladies, for women entrepreneurs. Okay. So, you know, we just ask that you subscribe, give us feedback. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. You know, we would love to talk.
Thanks for watching.